Hey guys, hey funnel builders, Mike here from Sell Your Service. So a lot of you have been asking about how I plan my weeks, how my agency plans its weeks. There's been some news recently that we've recently merged or been bought by MeBox, which is a larger media agency. So I'm now their CMO. I'll probably do a proper video on that soon. Last week or a couple of weeks ago, I produced a video on creating your priorities, creating your list of things that you need to do. And this here is basically how we do this each week, right? This here is it is essentially how I get so much done each day. Now I'm going to let you in on a secret. I'm a big fan of the Miracle Morning, which is how I've been able to get up so early and get so much work done, because I have, a purpose, because I have a goal, because we have really strict, not strict actually, explicit ideas of what we want to do and how much revenue we want to generate. I'm excited to get out of bed in the morning. I'm genuinely motivated. Mondays are my favorite day of the week now. And there's a few reasons for that. First of all, I am insanely motivated to get my week planned. As you know, we've got the monthly plan and the week plan, and this is what I follow every single day, and I go through that. So I'm a huge fan of weekly planning, and I do that on a Monday, so I cannot wait on Mondays to wake up and get that done. Every single day, however, I'm contributing to writing my book, I'm writing blog posts, I'm emailing customers, I've got calls with customers, and there's a lot of stuff built in that I think, well, how do I do that? How do I do so much, including running an agency? So we obviously Sell Your Service, but we run an agency as well. How do I get that much done? And here's what I want to do. I want to highlight this bit here. Your job, okay, this is how this is going to work. Your job is to fill 3 2-hour blocks a week with profitable work. That's all you're trying to do, okay? Your job is to fill 3 2-hour blocks a week with profitable work. So let's put that back. So what does that mean? Right, what does that mean? In any given day, you have between, let's say 9 and 5. Now, like I said, I'm actually up either at 5 or 6, and I got a lot of stuff done. Not all of it's work. There's a bit of meditation, a little bit of exercise, some just quiet reflection and stuff like that. But when I hit go, which is around 7 o'clock in the morning, everything comes out. Having said that, this here is a list of all the priorities that I've got, okay? All the priorities that I've got that are nothing to do with anything that would change week to week. So already there's a huge amount here. So weekly coaching, that's 2 hours a week. I have to write 5 newsletter emails. That takes about 2 hours a week. I need to write book content minimum for 2 hours per day. I have to write my coaching slides, which is about 2 hours a week. I call Mark, my business partner, that's about an hour. I do email and communications, which is 1 hour per day. That's where I do Reddit, that's where I do forums, that's where I do Facebook, comments, outreach, email. That's where I do all of my communications. I do the wrap up for WP Elevation. I do Digital Marketer HQ, so I'm going through a load of their courses, which is 1 hour per week. Video editing and uploading, like stuff like this, that's 1 hour a week. Video shooting, 1 hour a week. Customer blocks, here we go. So 1 to 2 a week. Actually, no, sorry, that should be 2 to 3 a week. Your real ideal goal is to fill 3 2-hour blocks each week with profitable work. So this is work that you're being paid for. Okay, so I'm going to go through all of this. This is work that you're being paid for. I usually have about 2 meeting blocks that I'll block in because I know that stuff comes up. For example, we're talking to another, like a membership course later in the week, so that'll be tomorrow. So I've given them an hour, but I've blocked that out already. Every month I do 3 hours worth of planning. I have to eat food. That takes about 2 hours a day. So this is going beyond this 9 to 5, right? I read for at least an hour a day. I try to do 2, and I'm a huge, reading's like the big thing I think of success is people who read. If you can read a book a week, you're more likely to be successful. And listen there, which is twice a week. I have my own coaches, I have my own programs and stuff that I have to listen to in order to make my business better and to be able to serve you guys better. So all of that has to go into my weekly plan, right? So I fill okay, this weekly plan, which I'm sure you guys have seen already as part of the weekly plans and stuff. But here's the deal, right? I want to basically create these profit blocks. Now, profit blocks are blocks of time that I know are going to be worthwhile and generate me money. For example, when running an agency, now this is tricky because I don't do a lot of the work anymore. We have a developer and a designer now. But if I was to do it, here's how I used to do it. First of all, 9 to 11 is one block. So that's 2 hours, right? That's 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So between 9 and 11, I would look at long-term content. The first thing I do in the morning is look at long-term stuff. So this is our content. It's blogs, outreach, product design, planning, videos, design. It's stuff that's not going to have an immediate impact straight away, okay? That's the first thing we do. I then have another little block between 11 and 12 where that'll be another long-term thing. So that'll be a smaller task. Maybe that's writing a bunch of emails. Maybe that's publishing a blog post, writing up some tasks. These are long-term things, okay? Then I always have lunch. I think it's imperative that you give yourself an hour a day for lunch. People who go, oh, I don't have time for lunch. A, don't know how to prioritize, and 2, are probably cramming too much into their day. Have lunch, sit down, enjoy food. It is, apart from sleep and water, the most vital part of being a human being is eating decent food. Even if it's just a sandwich and a bag of chips, have something to eat, sit down, eat. If you're with people, sit down and have conversations. Don't just play on your phones all the time. I can never remember whether I'm allowed to swear or not. It's my own channel, I swear if I want. Don't just play on your fucking phones all the time. Sit down, eat, read. I think reading's a fantastic thing to do during lunchtime, but don't do work, don't do stuff. Don't sit at your desk eating a sandwich, looking over stuff, because we're gonna give you 6 hours a week to do client work. After that, so between 1 and 3, so 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, that 2-hour block, that is profit work for customers. So that's pure profit time, okay? That's time I'm charging for, okay? And that's when I do work for customers. That's when we build our landing pages for them. That's when we do copywriting. That's when we do design work. And I do that 3 times a week, okay? Exactly the same time. So straight after lunch, straight in. Medium term is then when I look at stuff that's gonna impact my business within the next 3 to 6 months, okay? So this is lead generation, this is networking, nurturing, webinars, consulting, training, outsources, and processes. The idea here, so 3 till 4 and 4 till 5, that's a 2-hour block where I just do my medium-term stuff. So my longer-term tactics, which is content marketing, producing videos, product design, planning, design, outreach, this kind of stuff, interviews, these kind of things. At the end of the day, I do my medium-term stuff, which is when I do lead generation, networking, webinars, consulting. So this is the stuff that's going to impact my business relatively soon. The idea is that this medium-term stuff, at some point in 3 to 6 months or in a few weeks' time, is going to start leading to profitable work. Okay, that's the point of that. The idea of the long-term stuff is that it's going to end up feeding this medium-term goal. So in 12 months' time, all of this stuff that I've done is going to start doing medium term. Now I've got literal proof of this, literal proof. I've now had 3 coaching customers pay anywhere between, and this is not with Sell Your Service, this is with our MeBox side. I have had 3 of them find our business through online search methods, okay? Now we wrote some of those posts, I think some of them even might be over a year old. I was just checking the date from them. They are over a year old, but we continually wrote content and it got us discovered. The content supports our purpose, it supports our goal every single time. And by doing that, it fed into our medium-term stuff. About 3 months ago, we started our lead generation, our nurturing campaign. Anyone who had interacted with our stuff, our traffic, our list, all of this kind of stuff that had been building up over sort of a 12, almost a 24-month period, and started coming in, and we could now nurture them. We could book consulting calls with them. We could book webinars with them. We started having conversations with them, and they began thinking, yeah, this is a viable option. We've now launched, and we are now doing profitable work for customers. So, for example, I might do the design work for one of our customers, or build out the funnel, for example. That's one thing we're doing is building out this funnel. And then on the other side, later on, I might do 2 hours worth of a coaching call. Maybe that'd be for you guys, maybe for my other customers. And another time, it might be managing profitable work. But by allocating this and by doing it first, you'll find you actually don't have a huge amount of time left in the week to do the dumb stuff. You don't have time to be distracted. You don't have time to be, unfocused or unmotivated. We get so much done because we follow this really basic plan here. And email and communications, this is part of the long term. Now, here's what happens. Here's what's interesting is because you're only doing that 3 times a month, 3 times a week, there's a period between 1 and 3, twice a week, that you can then fill with other tasks. And this is where you put your stuff. For example, all of these will fit into a long-term thing, okay? So weekly coaching, that's profitable. Write 5 newsletters, that's mid-term. Book content is long-term. Coaching slides is profitable. Calling Mark is mid-term. Emails and communications, it's long-term. WP wrap-up, that's profitable. Education and training, that's long-term. Video editing, that's long-term. Video shoots, that's long-term. Customer blocks, typically medium-term if I'm talking to them already. Sorry, those are of course profitable, profitable ones. Meeting blocks are medium-term. Planning is long-term. Food is necessary. Reading is long-term. And listening is long-term. Now, can you see that I have more long-term tasks? Because the idea is that you do this huge bulk of long-term things that then feed into a smaller number of medium-term activities, and then you have a very finite number of resources for your short-term profitable activities that are going to deliver some money in the bank later that day or later that week. This is how we structure this, and what we can do here is I then go, do you know what? I haven't given myself any time for any more meetings. And I really haven't given myself time to do some listening exercises. So I'm going to go away and I'm going to do that. Here's the trick though. I start about 6. So 8, 7, 6. That first hour, sometimes 5 o'clock, sometimes. That first hour is reflection, it's internal. The Miracle Morning, I'll post a link to it. 7 till 8 is actually when I end up getting the majority of the book work done. 8 till 9 is then when we get the rest of the regular content done. So I have all of the up until lunchtime to be able to do outreach, blogs, writing, video editing, video shooting, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, in the meantime, I will see you guys later.